Hello, everybody. Excited to be with you another day for another conversation. Oh, my goodness. So you guys know that we have been interviewing, or rather yet having a conversation with the sponsors of my experience event that is coming up. And today is no different. We have E-lay-sha. I love that name. I love unique names. So E-lay-sha is here with us today. She is a sponsor of Experience Atlanta. Get excited. And I'm even more excited because she not only said that she wanted to sponsor, but guess what? She is coming all the way from California. Get excited. So bring some of that West Coast flavor on. I am excited that you are here, and I just want you to take a few moments to introduce yourself, please.
Well, hi, everyone. I am super excited to be chatting with you all today, to be part of the conversation, and am thrilled to be heading to Atlanta this fall for the incredible experience. I am a professional speaker, master teacher, and been nicknamed the Get Your Butt on Stage coach. I speak professionally on topics of faith, diversity, and women's leadership, but I also coach other women who are thought leaders, industry experts, authors, biz owners on building their own speaking platform so that they can increase their influence, impact, and income through their own personal story and message. So that's a lot of what I do in my professional life. I'm also a wife and mommy, and I love to brag that I am actually in our household the Michael Jackson Wii champion for the Thriller dance. So that's my claim to fame.
That is awesome. You have so much yummy goodness and everything you just said. I'm like, where do we start with this conversation? Because that is amazing. Like, I love what you said about your professional life, but I love even more what you said about your personal life, because that just shows us some of your personality. And on this show, we talk about the why behind the what. And so I now understand why you tell people to get their butt on stage. That goes perfect with the branding of who you are, because who else would tell us that they are the Michael Jackson Wii fam? I love it. I love it. I just went up to like 1,000 trillion right now because I love to dance too. I'm like, we don't have to have a dance off, so we see, hey.
Right?
Yes. And so I do want to start with the whole moniker. That is cool. I've never heard anybody say that, and I love it. So tell us how you help us get our butts on stage.
Well, what I have found, a lot of women have these powerful, amazing stories that deep inside they really do want to share, or they at least recognize can have a powerful impact. Or even women, I've worked with women who are still, in corporate, but they want to really leverage their story to build their own personal brand or leadership expertise. And so what I do is really work on the mindset, because a lot of it is that mindset and that confidence, but also getting really clear on what is your big mission. And we'll touch on this today, right? Like, what's the why behind what you're doing, because that ends up being the big motivator. And then how do we craft what I call your ovation-worthy message? So those are really the three things that I attack hard with my clients. It's like the mindset, the mission, and then your message. And, of course, there's all the marketing stuff, but those are the big three. And then really just getting women confident to be on stage, being seen. We struggle. I struggle. I'm an introvert. I tell people, if I can do it, even as an introvert, it's possible to get comfortable being seen, being in the spotlight, and sharing your story as a way to serve other people. So that really is my passion, is helping women be seen, share their story, and really serve from their heart.
Awesome sauce. And so you said leverage. That's one of my favorite words in my vocabulary. And so what does leverage mean to you?
I think about it, well, I almost think from, my science background, right? So when you're using a lever or something that you're leveraging the weight that it is taking, in a sense, less pressure to really increase the movement. So it's that same thing, like how can we take our gifts and our talents, move past what people talk about, like this whole hustle and grinding, team no sleep. I'm like, no, we don't want to be on team no sleep. But how can we, using less effort, which really to me is more focused action, right, to have a bigger movement? So that's really what I like to focus on. I'm also all about efficiency. I'm very type A. So it's how do we take really focused action and, in a sense, leverage that or use that to propel bigger movement or bigger impact. And I find that with speaking because it's a way that you can serve more people at one time, as opposed to I'm having a one-on-one consult or share my sort of one-on-one. I can be in a room with 20, 30, 50, 100 people and really have a more profound impact in that space.
What is the biggest key that you have found to help you leverage greater?
I find a couple of things. So one, being really clear on who you are, who you serve, coming back to that why, because it's easy to be distracted and be trying to be all things for all people. And I know I even fell into that trap when I first started. It's like, oh, that seems good. Oh, that looks good. Oh, maybe I could do this. And then there's no impact. And again, I can say this from experience. It is, since a jack of all trades and a master of none. So really getting narrow and really getting focused and speaking to those people and really staying in your lane. Just, what is it you're called to do? Who are you called to serve? And being really focused on that and looking at, again, how can you take your gifts and talents and really sow into good ground. In fact, I posted something about that earlier today, like versus sowing into quicksand versus, like good ground. And what's good ground? It's the people that you're called to serve. And really figuring out how can I touch more people, whether that's, again, through speaking, through, podcasts, whether it's through courses or books, because those things can go places that you can't.
That's right. I love it. Because the thing that happens is that a lot of times when we're running around and doing all those things, that will wear you out, and it's only one you. But you were talking about working smarter and not harder. And so with that, it does make perfect sense because of the fact that you just have to make sure that you're doing the greatest things, the greatest things that make the most sense. I think that a lot of times our friends in direct sales and network marketing, that business model has it right because they know how to divide the task and multiply the efforts. And so I think that whether people are proponents of direct sales network marketing or not, then they will be able to take that same thought pattern or business model and do the same with your small business. What do you think?
Yes, absolutely. You're right. I don't have a lot of personal experience with like direct sales and such, but yes, you're right. They do have the model, and those of us in other business can definitely benefit from learning how that works.
Yes. I think that, again, what you said about, I think you mentioned books and you mentioned speaking engagement. So what other types of actual tangible things can people get off this call with you today and implement? What would be some of those easy to implement strategies that can assist with that?
So in terms of kind of building out their leveraging their expertise.
Yes,
I would say I believe what I call legacy products. So those are the things that are going to last, can go further than we can go, in places we can go, and in some ways can outlast us, right? So if we have a book or even a podcast, even times our talks, because often we will create some type of workbook or book or something that goes with it, and so that begins to go places we can't and can even outlive us, right? So to me, those are like legacy products. And so one, I would encourage people to really focus on what is at least one legacy product I can begin to work on first. Now, I personally have a bias towards creating like your signature talk that then becomes a program, because I'm a speaker, so obviously I'm always going to talk about like taking the speech, your signature talk, and then from that, once you have that down, look at, so if I have a talk and I know on my talk I touch on these 3 or 5 key points, you could then turn that into, take those 3 to 5 key points and create a workbook that goes along with your talk, or create an ebook or even a mini course. So sometimes we're thinking so big, like I have to create this like 10-module super course or this huge program. I always think small. Even if you can help people with just 3 to 5 strategies, that can be life transforming. So my first suggestion is go back and if you have a book or you have a talk, take out 3 to 5 really key points and look at how can then I create even just like the next step for people. So if a talk, I always say from a talk, go to either a mini course or an ebook. If you have a book, you definitely should be creating a speech out of that, or a workbook. So if you have these key points, what can you give people as prompts to begin to work towards hitting those targets? So, and again, it's leverage, right? So we're not trying to think of some new concepts. We're taking what we already have created, what we already have expertise around, and figuring out how do I use that to better serve more people.
Yes. And I think, like, for the people who don't have a book, I think it's important that you all create a book, especially if you're a speaker or anybody really who is a business person, because even if you're a realtor or a teacher or preacher, pastor, whatever, I deal with people who are in saturated industries, and I help them to truly stop being hidden figures. When I saw that movie, that revolutionized my life. Because the power of those people, those women that the actresses were portraying, for them to have all this amazing knowledge, wisdom, been that beneficial to NASA, we didn't know about them until how many years later? That could be you. Who is waiting on the other side of knowing about you? I do believe that you are the answer to someone's prayer. I do believe that. And so what we are saying today makes perfect sense. And you hear me, and this is the type of language I get excited about, because this is my like they say, this is my jam. Because it's just impressive. And like you're saying, everybody needs a book. I hear so many people say, I don't want a book. What would I put in the book? But I was like that. I said that before I had my books, and now probably at the end of this year I'll have 7 books. And I believe in the power of anthology. I am at one point I didn't believe in that model, but like you're saying, leverage is true. If you have an anthology, then you're just, for one, I am not a writer who speaks. I'm a speaker who writes. So me having a few little words in the mix of this book is important, and you could do that too, being an author. You could be a book collaborator, and that will help you not only divide the cost of the book project, but that will also help you to have other people who are in the book who are phenomenal and who you can leverage each other's success. So this is truly, we have a chapter in my book, Cultivating Your It Factor, about leverage. So this makes me happy. But shouts out to Samira, the Diamond Diva Green. She wrote that chapter. But it's just amazing to hear you saying these things because people don't get it. Once they have the book, guess what? Then you're able to take your book and you're able to create an audio product. You're able to have author chats. You're able to have, like we're saying here, you can have signature talks. You can take each chapter. We can't give away all the goods, but y'all better take notes on these ones. There's so many different things you can do. And so with that, you know, what you're doing is phenomenal. I do believe that when people begin to open their minds and they're being able to just hear clearly and creatively, I can't even speak, I'm so excited. They get to hear all of that, and they are able to just take it to the next level. And so this is where I come in with PR, marketing, and branding, because once you have something to leverage, then we can do PR. If there's nothing for me to work with, then I can't do PR for a rock. I can only do PR for a platform. And so when that happens, guess what? You are able to take your business. And so what we are saying is this is key. This is key. People need to hear this conversation a million trillion times because of what we're doing. So what do you think is the thing that people are like, I drop the ball on this all the time, and they don't know? It's almost like a cat chasing its tail or a dog chasing its tail. It's not getting anywhere.
I really think a lot of times what holds people up is confidence. It's not content, right? Because it's not content. You can see people, even just on social media, I mean, they're posting things, they're sharing things. I mean, you know they have an expertise, even if it's just their story and what they learned. And so it's not content a lot of times people think it's content, like, I don't have anything to write about. I don't have a story worth sharing. I don't have, but it's not the content. I think what really holds people up is the confidence and stepping out of their comfort zone. And so I also feel like no matter what type of, whether speaker coach, biz coach, life coach, a lot of times we're working with people around those mindset issues because it's the confidence and getting out of your comfort zone. I always say, this is almost in every single one of my talks about, like, your comfort zone is a beautiful place, but nothing of significance grows there. And so we have to get comfortable being uncomfortable and stepping out a little bit into the unknown, because you're right, we might write this book and we don't know how it's going to be received or how it's going to take off or if we share the talk. But when you know, though, you are called to share it. Right? I always say, like you said, you are an answer to someone's prayer. There is a reason why God has placed that gift, that story, that journey, that expertise in. It's to serve other people. It's not for you. Our gifts are not for us. It's for the people we've been called to serve. And so having confidence in, if we can't have confidence in ourselves, have confidence that God knows what he's doing, right? And there's a reason why he's calling us to this, and it's the confidence piece, and so important. One is just focus on what God's calling you to do. It can be so easy to start looking at what other people are doing and feeling like they're further ahead or they have more of this or whatever. I would say keep your eyes on your own paper. Just do what it is that you are supposed to be doing and trust the process. I always say it's not a book club. We don't all have to be on the same chapter, right? I might be on chapter 1, I might be on chapter 20, but I'm going to get there if I keep going. Yes. So I think that more than anything is what holds us up. It's the confidence and just really getting out of our comfort zone. And when we can just determine we're just going to show up and take action and let the process work, when we're ready to do it afraid, it makes such a difference. And if I could just share this, because this came up, I was in my quiet time yesterday, I never saw this. It's actually Galatians 6:4, and I've read it before, but I think it was in a different translation this time, but it says, pay careful attention to your own work, for then you will get the satisfaction of a job well done, and you won't need to compare yourself to anyone else.
Amen.
I mean, when I read that yesterday, it was like, it was like confirmation, but I wanted to shout, and I think that's it, right, for our listeners. Really focus on what you've been called to do. What is your work, right? What's your ground to plow? And when you do that, I mean, there's nothing worse. People say, like, the worst thing is failure, but I think the worst thing is regret. When you do the work, even if it doesn't turn out perfectly, you don't walk away with the regret. You might have some lessons learned that you could always just continue to improve. And then when you're focused on your work, you're doing that thing you've been called and purposed to do, you don't have to compare yourself to anyone else, because no one else has your specific gifts and calling and talent and audience and tribe to reach.
Woo! Okay. That was yes. I always say that your comfort zone, we've heard it before, your comfort zone is your broke zone, but I always say it's your broken zone too, because you're not happy really being comfortable in that zone. And so I also say, rock your it factor. I always capitalize that because of what you're saying.
That is your thing.
And yes, ma'am. And I do also say, which is confirmation of what you just said, that God has given us proverbial blinders, rollerblades, and headphones. Blinders are supposed to be used for horses, keep them focused. Rollerblades, because I like to move fast, keep it moving. You can have a bike, you have whatever you need, sneakers, whatever you need, and then headphones to drown out all the noise. And so, yes, we are so aligned. I am so excited about this, and I cannot wait till September 22nd. I want to do two things prior to you leaving us today, because we are almost at the end of our time. Oh, my gosh, it feels like we're just talking 5 seconds.
I know.
But yes, oh my gosh. When I want you to really talk to the people about why they should be Experience Atlanta, why you decided to become a sponsor, and also why they should definitely want to connect with you. Definitely give them your contact information.
Well, Experience Atlanta, in one, because it is going to be an experience. It's not just another conference, get-together, night out. It is truly an event where, we have a leader in Stevie who has an incredible vision, but has really been sewing into this event, praying about this event, putting things together to create an atmosphere for women to truly have an experience that is going to leave them changed, but also equipped for the next step in their journey. And so it is something that even when I thought I have to be a part of it, and I'm coming from California, like I am sewing into this myself, because it was something I just felt like I even want to be a part of the experience, and I want to experience the experience. And so there really is no excuse not to show, because I'm thinking, if I can come from California, right, you women definitely should make the investment in yourself and in coming, get your tickets, bring your friends, be prepared, be open and expecting, right? Come with a spirit of anticipation and an expectation for what's going to happen on that evening. And I'm looking forward to meeting you all in Atlanta, but definitely connect with me ahead of time. You can find me on social media. Most places it's CoCoSpeaks. So Facebook, it's CoCoSpeaks. Instagram, it's CoCoSpeaks. Twitter, not as active there, but Facebook and Instagram are great, or you can go to CoCoSpeaks.net is my website. But definitely, reach out, let's connect, say hi, so we can begin to build that relationship as we are preparing for the experience this fall.
Yes. I am absolutely I am jumping out of my skin excited because of what this has been on today. Like, I've gotten even more energy from this, and it's just a blessing. I cannot wait to see you in person. You blessed me just by saying you want to come to this from California. You don't know, like, I almost feel like crying because when you said that just, I was like, I got to give her something to come to. Like, that just helped me to go even greater just because of the fact that you made that sacrifice in something that God told me. And before we leave, I want to tell this quick story about how Experience even became born. I was on the phone with Pastor Cassandra Elliott in the midst of having the conversation. And at that point, we didn't even pre-record the conversation. We were doing it live, in case you guys don't know. That was last year. And so in the midst of it, God dropped this thing inside of my spirit and was like, you need to do an event and have her there in December. And I was just like, okay. I just asked her online. Like, we were there live and in person talking during this show, and she has graciously said yes. And the thing about it was we had it at a church in Greensboro. I was texting the pastor to see if we could have it there so I could tell the people before they got the line of the call. Then we had Pastor Marilyn Porter, and I was inboxing her too to see if she could come. And God just made it so phenomenal. We were in Greensboro. That's when it first started. And for me, that was big because that was the first event I did since I had moved away a couple months prior. And so the thing about that is that it was only, like, I thought it was only going to be a one-time thing. I didn't know, that Experience Atlanta would even happen, Experience DMV would happen, Experience Roanoke would happen. I didn't know because that was not where God had told me at that time. He was just like, do this. And that just, I always try to do something in December just so that people can have some hope and just something to take them forward in the next year. And that was the thing. And so God just said, do it. And this has been the most, like, faith-walking journey because I'm like, okay, Lord, I'm going to ask these people to sow into this. We don't even know what it is. I don't know what's going to happen here because every experience is different. I'm like, God, you tell me, get these people together. And then that's how it happens. So for you to say, I want to get on the plane, get a hotel, sow your money, like this, I know it's not cheap to do that, and that blesses me. That helps me. Like, I really am not trying to cry on this show, but I want you to know that I thank you. I really, really, really do.
It is my pleasure. And truly, when I felt God leading, I'm like, are you sure, Lord? Like, that's a lot, like you said, to like go. But it would not leave me alone. And I've just learned, like, just trust, right? Just trust. Even though it might seem crazy, and not like crazy, but you know what I'm saying. Like, I'm going to come way to Atlanta, and I've never even met Steve in person. I'm not even sure exactly how this is going to roll out, but I just felt so strongly that it was what I was supposed to do. So I know something incredible is coming. I am confident of that.
Amen. 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 I believe it. I receive it. Everybody, you definitely want to get your complimentary ticket. Thank you to our sponsors because they have allowed us to have this event for absolutely free, thanks to their money, their mindset, their heart. We are having this event free. All you've got to do to go get your ticket is to go to STEZII.com. Again, STEZII.com. You'll see an experience tab, and you just register. That's what we ask of you. So definitely, guys, thank you so much, CoCo, for being here today. You are
pleasure.
Yes, getting up early, getting on the conversation with us. So thank you, and God bless you. I cannot wait to see you in Atlanta on September 22nd.
I can't wait either, honey. Thank you so much for the time today.
You're welcome. Everybody, you know I sign off by saying, make it a great day. I never say have a great day. I always say make it a great day. Why? Because you, and yes, you too have the power to do so. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.